When you think of Muhammad Ali, you probably think of boxing. The greatest of all time, right? But he was so much more. He was a poet, a rebel, a conscientious objector, and a true global icon. To really get Ali, you have to look past the boxing ring and see the cultural earthquake he set off. And this right here, this was his mission statement, way back in 1964. Before he was a household name, a young Ali just laid it all out. He was basically saying, I'm going to define myself on my own terms. Get used to it. So let's really get into it, because that's the big question, isn't it? How does that even happen? His journey from being seen as this villain by mainstream America to becoming this revered global figure, well, it's one of the most incredible transformations you'll ever see. To really understand the revolution Ali started, you first have to understand the world he was pushing back against. Think about it. This was a world with these strict, unwritten rules, especially for Black public figures. You had to be humble, you had to be thankful for the chance, and whatever you do, don't make waves. The expectation was total deference, not defiance. Well, Ali was about to shatter that to pieces. And here's the key. This wasn't an accident. He was on a mission. He consciously set out to create a whole new blueprint for what a Black man could be in the public eye. Proud, loud, and completely, utterly unapologetic. And you saw in everything he did, big and small. He wouldn't use that deferential language, the yes sir and no sir, that was just expected of Black people back then. He refused to know his place. Every single interview, every time he stepped in front of a camera, it was an act of rebellion. And all of that defiance, all that confidence, it led straight to the moment that lit the fuse. We're talking about one night in Miami that changed sports, culture, and Ali's life forever. Seriously, nobody, and I mean nobody, gave him a shot. Sonny Liston was this terrifying force, an ex-con with just monstrous power. The press was actually worried for the young guy's safety. They honestly thought they were about to watch a slaughter. But here's the thing about Ali. He was already living in a different reality. While everyone else saw impending doom, he saw his destiny. He was writing poems, he was bragging, he was putting on a show. He wasn't just predicting he'd win, he was literally writing the first chapter of his own legend. And then, he actually did it. He floated like a butterfly, stung like a bee. He made the most feared man in boxing quit right there on his stool. The impossible had just happened. And in that moment, with those words, a star wasn't just born, he exploded into the universe. That wasn't some simple post-fight interview. No way. That was a coronation, happening live for the whole world to see. He wasn't asking for the crown, he was yanking it right off the king's head. Now, as absolutely shocking as that victory was, what Ali did the very next day, well, that sent an even bigger shockwave through America. He gets in front of the press and announces he's a member of the Nation of Islam, which was seen as a really radical group at the time, and that his name was now Muhammad Ali. I mean, America was still reeling from the fight, and this felt like a punch to the gut. You have to understand what this meant. He called Cassius Clay his slave name, a name that was given to his ancestors by the people who owned them. So by choosing Muhammad Ali, a free name, he was snapping that chain to the past. He was forging a completely new identity, one rooted in his faith and his own personal freedom. This quote just says it all, doesn't it? It was a direct challenge. He was basically saying, look, I am America. I'm the part you've been ignoring. Get used to me. My name, my religion, my goals, they're mine, not yours. He was forcing the country to expand its definition of what it meant to be an American. So while a lot of white America was recoiling in shock, something very different was happening in the Black community. His actions started to resonate with this incredible power, even for people who didn't totally agree with his beliefs. To really get Ali's impact, it helps to see him next to another Black champion, Floyd Patterson. Patterson was the establishment choice, right? He was with the NAACP, working for integration. Ali? He represented a more radical path, Black pride, self-reliance, even separation. These were two very powerful but very different visions for the future. And that word thrill, that's the key. Even for a leader like Julian Bond, who was all about integration, there was something inspiring about Ali's sheer audacity. I mean, here was a guy who was just not afraid, standing up to the entire system on the biggest stage you can imagine. The baseball legend Reggie Jackson, I think, put it perfectly. Ali's real impact wasn't just political, it was psychological. He helped free people's minds. By standing up and declaring, "I'm beautiful, I'm great," he gave millions of other Black people permission to feel the exact same way. And it's important to remember, this isn't just us looking back with rose-colored glasses. This analysis is grounded in some serious academic research, like this thesis from Harvard that really digs into the huge and pretty unusual role Ali played in the advancement of Black America. And pretty soon, Ali's influence just exploded beyond the borders of the United States. He wasn't just America's champion anymore. He was becoming the world's champion.
I mean, almost right after he won the title, he took a tour through Africa and the Middle East. And the reception he got was just unreal. In Ghana, the streets were completely mobbed. There were banners everywhere welcoming him back home. For so many oppressed people all over the planet, he became this living, breathing symbol of resistance and pride.
President Obama's tribute here really just captures it all. Ali's story, with all its messiness and contradictions, is the American story. He personified our most basic freedoms, of religion, of speech, precisely because he was always challenging the nation to actually live up to them. So, what does this all mean? Ali left a legacy that's so much bigger than sports. He showed the world the kind of power an athlete can have to spark conversations and to push for real social change. And that leaves us with a big question for today. Who's carrying that torch now?